Within the Chapman family's dynasty of bounty hunters, baby Lisa was a well-liked and respected member. There is a possibility that even her most devoted followers are unaware of the turbulent childhood she had, as well as the activities she has been engaged in since the cancellation of Dog the Bounty Hunter. The year 1987 marked the birth of Lyssa Chapman, who was the product of Dwayne Dog Chapman and his third wife, Rae Britton. When she was still a teenager, she joined her father on his show Dog the Bounty Hunter. However, by that time she had already been through a lot of hardships. In order to have a complete understanding of how far she has come, it is essential to take into consideration how difficult her childhood actually was. It is possible that some fans of Dog the Bounty Hunter may have been under the impression that she and her father always got along, but this is not the case. Lisa made a false accusation of sexual assault on her father when she was just 11 years old. She related the incident to Fox News, saying, "I had been molested by a friend of his. It was a terrible existence that I never wanted to go back to. Living with him and Beth with the arguing and the drugs all the time. I took care of her up until she turned 11 years old, at which point she moved to live with her mother. After moving to Alaska to live with her mother, Lisa quickly became aware that substance misuse was also a problem in the household where she was temporarily residing. With that being said, the setting appeared to be more controllable at the time. When I arrived at my mother's house, she was drinking, but the atmosphere was much more serene than it had been before. I had friends, I was enrolling in school, and I was willing to do whatever in order to avoid going back. I think she wanted very badly to believe it, because she had so many hard feelings towards my father," she said, referring to her mother's tendency to accept her charges against Dog as reality. She also stated that her mother was inclined to accept her accusations as fact. Dwayne and Lisa were able to make amends with one another despite the troubled past they shared. During the same interview with Fox News, Lisa stated that she had not made contact with her mother since the year 2006. It should not come as much of a surprise that Lisa had to mature at an early age given the turbulent circumstances of her childhood. The fact that she became pregnant at the age of 14 forced her to confront certain aspects of adulthood at an earlier age than she had anticipated. Abby Mae Chapman, her daughter, was born the day after Lisa completed her 15th year of life. During that time period, Abby's father was in his 20s, and he ultimately entered a guilty plea to the charge of statutory rape. In 2005, when Lisa became a contestant on the reality show, she was already a few years into motherhood and had already reached the age of 18 years old. As you might expect, being a young mother was not an easy task for her, and it is apparent that the terrible connection she had with her own mother compounded the difficulties she faced. In an interview with Fox News, Lisa stated, "Right after I gave birth to my child, my mother relocated with her boyfriend. In essence, she simply confined us to a trailer and demanded that we pay the rent it was due. There was a time when my daughter and I were the only people living in our home, and I was able to get a monthly rent payment of $500 by babysitting. Due to the fact that her relationship with her father was still in a state of disarray at the time, she was unable to communicate with him." To summarize, Lisa was a child who was responsible for the upbringing of another child, and she did not have the necessary support structure. "I really felt like there was no future for me," she said. "I had just become a teenager when I became a mother, and I was living in Alaska with my mother." At the time that Lyssa Chapman became a member of the Dog the Bounty Hunter cast, the series had already completed one full season. On the other hand, Lisa chose to go in a different direction than other reality show entrants, who could have studied up and watched previous seasons before signing on. The fact that she did not have cable at her mother's house, as she explained to Fox News, meant that she did not watch the show until she was really a part of it. She recounted saying, "I had heard Dad was the star of a show, but I didn't know anything about it. So when I saw those cameras the first day, I was astonished." The producers made a big deal out of Lisa's first appearance in season 2. The show, which was titled Babies Back in Town, detailed her significant return to Hawaii after she had been living in Alaska for a period of 6 years with her family. During the episode of the Rumor Mill podcast that she hosted in 2023, Lisa expressed that she was prepared to give living with her father another chance at that particular moment in her life. "I kind of just shifted my thinking and stepped into my power a little while ago." According to Dog the Bounty Hunter, a crisis occurred in 2007 when Dwayne was caught on a recording using language that was considered to be racist. The television show was put on hold for a short period of time, but it was revived the following year. The show would continue to air for a total of 4 more years. In the year that followed the conclusion of Dog the Bounty Hunter, Lyssa Chapman published a book titled Walking on Eggshells, in which she describes how she found strength and courage in the midst of catastrophe. Lisa told Fox News that she felt forced to put her life experience down on paper after receiving so many compliments on how interesting it was. This was before the book was released to the public. "That was what really inspired me to write the story." She continued, "Because when I did tell people little tidbits of my life, their reaction was, 'Wow, I can't believe you're still standing.' This was the true motivation for my decision to write the story. Consequently, I had the thinking, well, this would be a really good story to get out there." After receiving assistance from publishers Simon & Schuster, Lisa was able to make her dream come true and become a published author. Within the context of her appearance on the Rumor Mill, she remarked on how significant it was for her to tell her own tale. "I want to have a conversation about that. I wanted to talk about things like recovery and being a teen parent, as well as the things that I went through when I was a youngster." After the conclusion of Dog the Bounty Hunter, Chapman was not completely prepared to make the transition away from the cameras. In 2013, she began working on a reality series that was completely distinct from the show that her family was participating in. She disclosed this information to Fox News. The statement that she made was as follows: "We are putting together a show with teen mothers, helping them get jobs and helping them with their families these days. Adolescents are subjected to an overwhelming amount of sexual content. It's all about sex, and then when they get pregnant, it becomes this big glorified event, or they're shamed by their family when they become pregnant." After a number of years had passed, she disclosed a few further information regarding the series on the podcast of Rumor Mill, but she stated that the plans did not eventually come to fruition. Lisa was not yet finished with her time on the tiny screen, despite the fact that the show in question was never produced. She has not only been in a cameo segment alongside her family on Hawaii 5-0, but she has also appeared in a few of episodes of the spin-off series Dog and Beth, which is produced by Dwayne and Beth Chapman and airs on The Hunt. On the other hand, Lisa said that she is unsure whether or not she would ever return to the world of reality television. "I don't think so. It's possible that Chapman is finished with living her life in front of the cameras of reality television, but she hasn't ceased providing her followers with a glimpse into her life through social media." The former Dog the Bounty Hunter star has maintained a presence on Instagram over the past few years, if you will pardon the pun. Frequently, the former reality TV star shares posts on her social media accounts about her activities, which include lengthy hikes and workouts performed at home. It is clear that Lisa's passion for physical activity was the driving force behind her decision to start her very own apparel brand, which featured activewear. The beginning of her brand, which was once known as Baby by Lyssa Chapman, occurred close to the end of 2019. According to her statement to the Rumor Mail, however, it took a little bit of time to get things going because of the pandemic. We took a break and we just picked it back up, and it's actually doing really, really well. Unfortunately, it seems as though that momentum did not come to stay. As of the latter half of the year 2024, the online store of Baby by Lyssa Chapman does not have any products available for purchase, and the Instagram account associated with the business has not been updated since the year 2023. Since Chapman's appearance on Dog the Bounty Hunter, she has obviously seen a transformation in her appearance nevertheless. This is to be anticipated given the length of time that has transpired. Since she began her career on reality television, a significant amount of time has passed. People are frequently saying things like, "Damn, you look so different. You have undergone all of this plastic surgery, and you have already done all of these things." And I told him, "No, dude, I was 18 years old." She has made some adjustments to her appearance, despite the fact that she may not have been able to complete any work. She has gone through a lot of different hair colors and styles over the course of the previous few years, just like she did during her time acting on the reality show that her father hosted. During the year 2020, she flaunted a new light blonde lob on her Instagram account. It would appear that by the year 2021, she had once again returned to darker colors. The following year, in 2022, she flaunted an even shorter haircut on her Instagram account. As a child, Lyssa Chapman witnessed both of her parents suffering from addiction and substance abuse. She was a witness to their struggles. She also started using drugs when she was still a little child. She began her journey toward recovery after she was jailed in 2011, as she stated in an interview with Fox News. In reference to the expedition, she indicated that Lyssa continued to consume alcohol for a short period of time following that period of time. Her announcement that she had undergone a significant transformation in her life was made public on Facebook in December of 2022. She revealed to her followers that she had experimented with sobriety in the past, but that in 2021 she experienced a life-changing incident when she was unable to drive her ailing dog to the veterinarian without suffering from the condition. She went on to explain that, after the first 30 days, she couldn't help but notice how much better she felt. Lyssa went on to say that she had been feeling considerably better. Her celebration of 18 months of abstinence was documented in another post that was dated December 2022. In the comments area, she admitted that it was challenging to maintain her sobriety throughout the holiday season, but she was prepared to continue to do so. Lisa Galante was formerly married to Beau Galante, with whom she had her youngest daughter, Madeline Grace. Devoted viewers of her father's show may recall that Lyssa was once married to Beau Galante. "You know, it was really intimidating for a lot of guys to be asking a dog to marry his daughter," he said. Despite the fact that the marriage only lasted for a single year, Lyssa did not deny herself the possibility of finding love again. In 2016, she started a relationship with Leona Evanson, and in 2022, the two of them got married in a ceremony that took place in Hawaii. Lyssa uploaded images of the important day to Instagram and captioned the post with her thoughts on the occasion. "Through the act of placing our feet in the sea, we established a connection with the strength and immensity of the ocean. We were embraced by the magnificent Keo'alo mountain range, which will continue to embrace us as we continue to live and spend the rest of our lives together at Maka'alamihi." Lyssa revealed to People magazine that Dwayne Chapman was able to listen to the ceremony over the phone, even though he was not physically present on the day in question. In addition, she stated that he is 100% on board with her marriage to Evanson, despite the fact that he has a history of making homophobic remarks. In spite of the fact that Dog the Bounty Hunter has been involved in a public dispute with a few of his other children, she stated that he and Lyssa appear to be on good terms, at least to some extent. According to Lisa, who mentioned it on the rumor mill, however, the political views of her father do make it difficult. Even though it has caused some strain in our relationship, we continue to communicate and everything is well. In addition, she admitted that she does not communicate with the majority of her siblings as much as she used to. In spite of this, Lisa published a flashback photo of herself posing as a bounty hunter in the year 2024, along with the message, "Guess who's getting back into the family business? Taking my bail test tomorrow. Be wary, oh-ho, because the Chapmans have returned." As a result of this return to form, Lisa's admirers were overjoyed, and a significant number of them flocked to the comments area to express their support for her. In addition, she disclosed in a response that she held a license in the past, but that it had expired because she was unable to maintain the required number of continuing education sessions. In the latter half of the year 2024, it is still unknown what Lisa intends to do with her license. According to what she shared with the rumor mill, she is uncertain as to whether or not she would return to full-time bounty hunting alongside Dog, who is now in his 70s and appears to be devoting his time to other activities,